A teenage girl unlocks a power no one's had in 50 years. It's the power of the gorilla. What exactly is this power? And will she use it for good or evil? Stay tuned till the end and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Our episode begins with an amazing and brand new anime centered around a teenage girl named Sophia. We see her being called by a school official as she stands nervously, wondering which card she'll draw today. In this world, students draw magical cards to receive special powers. Sophia is terrified, but finally she picks one, and what appears? A giant gorilla. Soon after, her friends show up, including Carissa, a blonde-haired girl who clearly acts like she owns the place. With a smug tone, Carissa asks, "So, what kind of skills did you get last night?" Before Sophia can even answer, they leave her behind and walk off. Feeling alone, Sophia heads to the dining hall for lunch. Now, here's some context. This school is called Town Academy, a royal school attended by sons and daughters of nobles and powerful families. At this school, girls often form relationships with elite boys, aiming to marry into high-status families. As for Sophia, she was born to a count's family, but they only own a small patch of land. They're nobility, but just barely. Back to the story. We see Sophia doing some really strange things. Breaking stuff accidentally, moving with freakish strength. She just can't control her body. Her strength is insane, but she has no idea why this is happening. Could it be the gorilla power? She rushes to the headmaster's office and asks about the card she drew. The headmaster looks shocked and explains that card is extremely rare. I've handed out cards to many students, but this is the first time I've ever seen this one appear. It only shows up once every 50 years. It's one of the strongest cards in the combat category. The gorilla power gives you 7 times the physical strength of an average human. Later, we see Sophia in the garden feeding a cute squirrel, then hurrying off to class as the bell rings. After school, she returns to the headmaster again. This time, he has big news. The Royal Knights have requested you join them. But first, there's a test. If you pass, you'll be sent there right away. With the gorilla power, you've already gained quite the reputation. Sophia is stunned. Is this a dream? I can't believe I'm being offered such a high-ranking position. But then she realizes something darker. If she refuses, she could be arrested for disobeying a direct royal order. So, she agrees, but she begs the headmaster not to tell anyone about it yet. The teacher told her that some people prefer to keep their powers hidden, and that he wouldn't reveal the fact that the Royal Knights were recruiting her either. Then he added that he'd heard rumors. The anti-monarchy faction had been getting more aggressive lately. He was sure she wouldn't want anyone talking about this until she officially became a knight in training. He encouraged her to do her best, assuring her that he'd always be there to support her. Later, Sophia went out into the garden, reflecting on what her teacher had said. If she joined the Knights, she'd have the chance to live a quiet, peaceful life. Still, she thought to herself, no matter how much she dreamed about her future, she couldn't run from the upcoming test, and there was a good chance she'd fail. So, she decided she'd do her best to fail on purpose. That way, she'd get disqualified and wouldn't have to go through with it. After all, even if she had the strength of a gorilla, once they realized she wasn't fit to be a knight, there's no way they'd want someone like her in such an important role in the kingdom. Becoming a knight wasn't just a big deal. It was huge and completely out of her league. Then came the day of the Knight in Training exams. We see Sophia on her way to the Royal Knights Training Center where the tests were being held. While walking, she spots an old man struggling to fix his cart. One of its wheels had come off. The man tells her he is trying to figure out how to carry his heavy load. Sophia considers helping him, but she doesn't want to draw too much attention to herself. Still, what's the point of having this gorilla strength if she won't even use it to help someone? So, she decides to lend a hand. The old man protests, saying it'll be way too much for her to carry, but before he can even finish, Sophia lifts the whole load onto her shoulders like it's nothing and starts walking with him. After that, we see Sophia again, but this time she's totally lost. She came from the neighboring town and now doesn't know which way to go. She stands there thinking until a boy notices she's lost and approaches her. He asks her if she's okay, and when she turns to see him, she's stunned by how handsome he is. She tells him she's trying to find the Royal Knights Training Center. He points out the direction. It's just down the road. She thanks him and starts to run, worried about being late. But before she takes off, the boy gently wipes some dirt off her face, and then she sprints away, blushing. When Sophia finally arrives at the training center, she's a bundle of nerves. All she wants is to go back home, but if she fails this test, maybe she can go back to her old life. Just thinking about it helps her calm down a bit. And then the test begins. The examiner, it's the same boy she saw on the street earlier. His name is Luce, and he's the youngest person ever considered for the position of Royal Knight. Luce tells the group that the first test will be a 100-meter sprint. When he gives the signal, they're to run from the starting line to the goal. One of the candidates, a confident guy named Ouritsu Kishidan, steps forward and says he's sure of his speed, so he'll go first. He takes off running at an impressive pace. Seeing this, Sophia panics. With people like Isaac here, how could someone like her possibly stand a chance? Next, it's Sophia's turn. She prepares herself, but the other students start mocking her for the way she's getting into her running stance. Inside, Sophia thinks to herself, it's so embarrassing to run in front of everyone, but if she gets this over with, maybe she can fail and escape. I'll finish this one way or another. With that thought, she uses her gorilla strength and sprints off. She crashes through the wall at the end of the course. Sophia is stunned, thinking, I really overdid it. But then she feels how light her body is. Just moments ago, she had no idea the gorilla strength could make her run at 40 kilometers per hour. The next part of the training involves sliding down a mountain. They'll be tested on their speed as they descend. The students will climb to the top and then they'll go down in order of readiness. The climb is tough, and when they see how high up they are, many of the students are scared. The first few students slide down easily, but when Isaac, who has a fear of heights, sees the drop, he hesitates. His friend tries to convince him to go down, but Isaac is still nervous. Sophia, seeing his fear, steps in. I'll go first. You can follow me. I'll catch you if something goes wrong. It's safer than you going alone. Isaac thinks to himself, I'm pathetic, making a girl worry about me. He gathers his courage and walks to the edge, asking Sophia, would you like to go down with me? They start descending together, but Isaac is clearly afraid. Sophia reassures him, don't look down. Suddenly, the rope breaks and Isaac starts to fall, but just in time, Sophia grabs him and saves him from the fall. However, both of them end up falling for a moment. Luckily, Sophia's strength kicks in and she saves them both. The other students are shocked by Sophia's strength, and Isaac thanks her for saving him. She replies, you were the one who made the effort first. I just saved your life. The instructor then announces that the test isn't over yet. They're moving on to the next challenge. He calls for Sophia to come with him and asks if her arms hurt from the weight she carried. He offers to take her to the infirmary. At the infirmary, the instructor checks her arms and says, your wounds aren't deep. Considering the weight you carried, your arms are really strong. And Isaac, he's impressed by you. As Sophia lies there, she thinks to herself about how handsome the instructor is. She thanks him for helping her. And so the episode ends with the usual anime outro. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get all our latest updates. The episode begins with Sophia narrating how the volcano ritual is held once someone turns 16. By taking part in this sacred ritual, participants are granted unique powers, abilities that vary wildly from person to person. For instance, those who receive the power of a bird are gifted with wings that let them soar freely through the skies, while those who gain the power of a fish find their bodies able to swim effortlessly through water. Most people who are blessed with these incredible powers go on to live truly extraordinary lives. Next, we see Sophia with Louis. She had hurt her hand, and Louis is gently helping her stretch and do exercises so it won't hurt anymore. He senses that she wants to tell him something, so he asks what it is. Sophia hesitates, clearly conflicted. How could she possibly tell him that she's been chosen to receive the power of the gorilla? So instead, she changes the subject. Later, they head to the training grounds. Sophia looks around at all the trainees with fear in her eyes. She knows if she stays here any longer, it might cost her her life. But then she wonders, why didn't she go through with the trial? Maybe she would have failed. Time passes, and their training session comes to an end. The commander tells the students that their results will be announced later. Louis approaches Sophia and thanks her. Someone was saved today because of her. Just then, Isaac joins them to thank Sophia as well for what she did. Sophia and Isaac leave the training field together, and as they walk, Isaac starts speaking kindly about Louis. Curious, Sophia asks him if he knew Louis from before. Isaac replies that when Louis was only 15, he became a knight, even before receiving any powers. He's truly incredible. He's the heir to a prominent family that's produced countless squad leaders among the knights. He's an exceptional swordsman, and yet never arrogant. Isaac admires him deeply and hopes to become a great knight like him one day. While walking, they stumble upon Eddie, surrounded by a bunch of guys who are clearly mocking and bullying him. Sophia and Isaac decide to step in and help. Isaac confronts the group, asking what they're doing here. If their tests are done, maybe it's time they head home. Nah, the boys mock him too. Sophia interrupts, saying they have business with Eddie. He promised to walk home with them. The boys burst into laughter, mocking her for even passing the trials. They refuse to let Eddie go. Suddenly, they attack. One of the bullies raises his hand to strike Sophia, but Isaac stands between them, furious. "You really going to hit a girl like that? You're a disgrace to the Knights," he says. Then Eddie jumps in and punches one of the guys. He tells Isaac and Sophia they could have just ignored the bullies, but before he can finish, another thug lunges at Eddie, only for Eddie to block the attack perfectly. One more boy tries to go after Sophia, but she grabs him and throws him hard into a nearby pot. The impact shocks everyone. Her strength is unreal. Sophia, Eddie, and Isaac walk away together, laughing and smiling. Today, Sophia was nothing short of amazing. Isaac looked at her and asked, "How did you even do that? Are you some kind of shinobi from the Far East or something?" Sophia blinked in confusion, not really understanding what he meant. That's when Eddie jumped in, asking bluntly, "Wait, did you get the gorilla's blessing?" Sophia froze, completely stunned by the question. Eddie kept going. "Think about it. You've got the strength to carry a full-grown man while climbing, all with that tiny body of yours. And even though your running looked kinda awkward before, you still outran the fastest guy in the country. That's not normal." Sophia stayed silent. Eddie just smiled. "Man, I wish I had that kind of power. You don't get it. How amazing that blessing is. Gorilla legs let you sprint at 40 km/h. And your arms? 7 times stronger than the average humans. It said your grip strength is 10 times stronger too. That's over 500 kilos. Isaac's jaw dropped. "That's insane. That's real power." Eddie nodded. "That blessing is part of one of only 2 top-tier combat classes in the whole world." Sophia blushed from all the praise, but Eddie told her seriously, "Don't hide it. You should be proud. That strength of yours saved me back there. So, thanks." Then the 3 of them began to open up more. Isaac said he got the dog's blessing. He's great at running and tracking. Eddie, on the other hand, said he preferred not to talk about his power, since knowing it could be a weakness if the wrong person found out. Finally, Sophia admitted she had the gorilla's blessing, but she begged them not to tell anyone. They both nodded. Eddie smirked. "No reason for me to say anything unless someone figures it out for themselves." Isaac laughed. "We're like the 16-year-old trio now. Let's hope we all make it." But in her heart, Sophia thought, "I doubt I'll ever see them again. I'm sure I'll fail, but I really hope Isaac and Eddie make it through." The scene shifts. An old man speaks to Sophia. "You passed," he says, "but I heard you didn't complete one of the tests. I'm not sure what the criteria were exactly, but you must have left a strong impression. Since you're still a student, you'll be training as a junior knight after school hours most likely." Later, Sophia walks into her classroom and is stunned to see Isaac and Eddie there too. Isaac sees her and smiles. "I had a feeling we'd end up in the same class." He welcomes her warmly, and later we see them all talking in the school courtyard. Sophia says, "I'm just a junior knight, even with the gorilla blessing." Isaac replies with confidence, "Who cares what blessing anyone gets? But wait, why do we have to keep your knight training a secret anyway?" Sophia responded, saying that she wants to become a knight alongside them. Isaac, a bit surprised, replied, "I can't say this feels like the first time we've met, but hey, suit yourself. I don't really care as long as it doesn't get in the way of our duties as beginner knights." Sophia smiled and thanked them, adding, "I have to protect at least a small part of my peaceful school life, no matter what it takes." Then she quickly changed the subject. "More importantly, congratulations on passing the test." Just then, they noticed a crowd of girls gathering nearby. Curious, Sophia went over to see what was going on and saw Louis walk out, cheerfully talking to the group. He looked genuinely happy to be at the school. Sophia thought to herself, "What's going on now?" She asked Louis directly, "What are you doing here at school?" He answered, "Well, I've been given permission to prioritize my duties as a beginner knight, so I don't attend often. I guess you could say I'm your upperclassman in more ways than one. Oh, and by the way, I wanted to congratulate the 3 of you on passing the exam." Then he turned to Sophia and asked, "How's your hand? I heard you were injured." Sophia replied, "I'm totally fine now, but if you guys have any questions about this school, feel free to ask me." She then thought to herself, who would have imagined that he goes to the same school as me? But the atmosphere started to shift. A lot of girls nearby were glaring at her with serious jealousy. One girl stepped forward and asked, "What's your relationship with Scarel?" Sophia quickly answered, "I don't really know him. We just met once, that's all. There's nothing going on between us." Wait, Scarel is Louis' last name? I had no idea. The questions started coming non-stop and Sophia wanted to escape. So she pointed and said, "Oh look, Louis is in the courtyard." Immediately, all the girls ran off screaming toward the courtyard and Sophia made a quick getaway. Later, Eddie and Isaac joined her for lunch. They started chatting about how they've been constantly stopped by others. Eddie complained, "People keep asking me where I'm from and what my hobbies are. There's nothing to talk about. I guess it's rare to see folks from outside the royal capital. Sophia noticed the girls around them were still glaring at her with pure rage. Then Louis showed up again and said, "Tomorrow is the induction ceremony. I hope I'll see you all there," he explained. During the ceremony, the captain of the knights will give a welcoming speech. Then you'll get to meet your fellow knights. Sophia politely excused herself, saying she had something important to take care of. As she left, she thought to herself, if I stay there any longer, those girls are gonna tear me apart. I really don't want to hear whatever they're about to say. But right outside, she bumped into Louis again. He apologized. "Sorry for bothering you again, but I wanted to talk to you." He handed her a cake and said, "I bought an extra one just for you. Don't tell your friends though, okay?" Sophia thanked him and Louis walked away. She suddenly realized the girls were spying on her and now they were chasing after her again. And that's how today's episode ends. Stay tuned for the next one, and if you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our new content. Then Sophia is asked if she is alright and she says she is fine, but in reality she is not. Then she remembers when the girls came to her house and asked her what she was doing with Skarl. Sophia told them that it was not what it seemed, as their families knew each other, so they were just having fun together. Carissa then tells her that there is no doubt about it, as it is unbelievable that Skarl would waste his time with a girl who lacks sophistication like her. They mock Sophia and leave. Then we return to reality and Sophia talks to herself saying, "Carissa is right, I lack sophistication. My hair is always messy and I can't style it properly. Also, my weight is not suitable for my height. Besides, I've become the gorilla girl." Then we see all the knights in the arena and the commander of the royal knights enters. His name is Ernest Cheval, and he congratulates everyone on their success in the preliminary knights certification test for the 156th class. He tells them that they are all wonderful warriors and were chosen for the test from among many young candidates. They must be prepared to risk their lives to protect the kingdom and its peace. A knight must possess courage, nobility, and refinement, and no one expects any of them to bring shame upon the kingdom. All the knights bow respectfully to his words. Then the commander looks at Sophia and asks her to do something about her hair strands so that they do not hinder her during combat. Sophia becomes nervous because she has received a warning from the most important person in the academy. At night, we see Sophia in her room, cutting a part of her hair, and she is very sad. Due to her intense sadness, when she holds the scissors, her gorilla strength manifests and she breaks them. The next morning, we see Sophia walking in the city, looking for a hairdresser. Then, Louis meets her and asks her what she is doing here. She asks him that she is looking for a hairdresser, so Louis takes her and they go to a barbershop. Sophia is surprised that Louis brought her to a men's barbershop. The shop owner asks him why he brought a girl to the shop. Louis tells him that she is his friend and wants to get her hair done. The shop owner tells her to sit down and remove the veil from her head. Sophia is afraid of him because he looks scary to her. He asks her what hairstyle she wants and she tells him that she wants to cut it shorter. The barber refuses and tells her that he will style it but will keep the length as it is. After some time, the barber finishes and Sophia looks at her face in the mirror and is amazed by her beauty. Then Louis comes and tells her that she has become very beautiful. Sophia thanks the barber for his effort and they leave the place. When she asks Louis about the cost, he tells her that he paid in advance. Sophia goes out and thanks Louis for what he did for her. Then she talks to herself, expressing her great joy because Louis paid attention to her, even if only a little. Then they pass by a sweets shop and Sophia notices that Louis seems to want to eat sweets. He tells her that he loves sweets very much, but most of the customers in this place are women, and he will attract attention if he goes in to buy. Sophia thinks to herself, I'm sure the reason isn't because you're a man, but because you're Louis Senpai. But maybe if I go in with him, I can repay him for the haircut. But if anyone from the school sees us, it will be a disaster. Then she tries to think of another way to repay him. Louis interrupts her thoughts and tells her that he wants to try this place, even just once. Sophia decides to try the place and go in with him, and Louis agrees immediately. Then they go in and sit at a table. We see all the girls admiring Louis, and Sophia understands their feelings because he is very handsome. Then the waitress comes and asks them what they would like to order. Sophia orders a strawberry pie and Louis orders a pistachio cake, a walnut pie, 2 caramel nut pies, a caramel almond pie, 2 pieces of dried fruit cake, a nut cake, 2 coffee walnut cakes, and 2 pieces of biscuits to take with him when he leaves. Then he looks at Sophia and tells her that he wanted to try many things since he came here. Then the sweets arrive and they start eating. Louis enjoys the sweets very much. While eating, Sophia tells him that it's obvious he has trouble going to places like this. He tells her that's true, but he is very happy that he came here with her. She asks him if he doesn't have anyone to accompany him here. He tells her that he doesn't, as that doesn't suit a man like him. even though he is surrounded by many girls at school. He tells her that most likely everyone thinks he is in a relationship with a girl because he rarely comes to school, but in reality there is no girl he loves in his life, and he is not thinking about marriage now until he achieves his goals first. Then he asks her, "Do you really possess the gorilla strength?" and asks her not to answer if she doesn't want to, but he was just curious when he saw her excellent ability, but he will never force her to answer. Sophia realizes that Louis has discovered her secret. Since they are together in the night squad, she thinks about telling him the truth, that she does indeed possess gorilla strength, but she refrains, because if he knows, he will surely hate her. Louis tells her that he guessed it because she always likes to help others and rescue them when they are in trouble. Sophia asks him, "Will you hate me if I tell you that I possess gorilla strength?" He tells her that he will certainly not hate her, but he is worried that a beautiful lady like her possesses such great power. Then he asks her to rely on him if any harm befalls her and never hesitate to ask for his help. Then they leave the sweets shop, and on their way back, Sophia talks to herself, saying, "Don't misunderstand, he is being kind to me because I am his classmate." Then she wonders what kind of supernatural power Louis possesses and if there is any ability that rivals gorilla strength. She wishes Louis had the same power as her, as she would be very happy. At night, we see the commander of the Royal Knights Naval Forces, Shen Kuali, reading the list of new knights. His friend enters and asks him what he is doing. He tells him that he is reading the names of the new knights, and his friend notices that he is very focused on the list. Then we see Sophia running away from her classmates using her gorilla strength and going to Isaac in the sword training arena. She tells him that she is being chased. Then their friend Eddie tells them that he is very tired of sword training. Isaac tells him that they still have rifle training. Then all the students line up and rifle training begins. Commander Adler gives them instructions on how to use the rifles and defense techniques. The students are surprised when they see him. Then the training begins and the knights start firing. When it is Sophia's turn and she holds the rifle, she cannot control her strength and breaks the rifle. She apologizes to the commander and he tells her it's okay. He leans close to her ear and says, "You little gorilla." Sophia is surprised because he knows about it. Then Commander Adler stands in front of everyone and tells them that after they become official knights, some of them will join his squad. Then he flies into the air, aims his rifle, and hits all the targets with expertise. He wishes them to become like him. Then Sophia and her friends leave and talk about Commander Adler's fighting prowess. Eddie wonders what the party next week at school will be like. Sophia thinks about attending, but she doesn't even have a dress. The next morning, Commander Adler goes to the Supreme Commander and tells him that there are very interesting knights in the new batch, and there is a very interesting girl who possesses gorilla strength, and he will never let her escape from his team. And so ends our episode today. To watch more episodes, please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. The anime episode begins on the day of the school party, where we see Sophia getting ready for the event. Her parents sent her a new, beautiful dress, but she's upset because they didn't send her any of the dresses she already has at home. She decides not to attend the party, but then she realizes she'll face many questions about why she didn't show up. So she changes her mind and decides to go, but she refuses to wear the new dress. The party starts and we see Sophia entering, feeling very shy. Her friend Carissa approaches her, and when she sees her, she mocks her appearance and her dress, with her friend Leo accompanying her. Leo introduces himself to Sophia. Carissa then asks Sophia if she has a date for the party, saying that it's impossible to attend without one. She mocks her again and then drags Leo away. Sophia feels very sad, so she runs off to hide from everyone. While she's hiding, she bumps into Louis, who apologizes, saying he was in a hurry. When he sees her crying, he asks her what happened. Sophia tells him that something upset her but refuses to elaborate. He suggests they go to the clinic, but she declines. She then tells him that she just wants to go back to her room. Louis insists on staying with her, and she finally admits the truth. She didn't know you needed a date to attend the party, and that's why she came alone. Louis then decides to be her date for the party. When they return to the party, people start talking about them. Everyone is shocked that Louis is Sophia's date. Louis tells Sophia that it's the first time he's heard that you need a date for the party. But Sophia doesn't believe him because she thinks he's surely had plenty of chances. Meanwhile, Carissa and her friends are getting jealous and upset about Louis being Sophia's date. They decide to ruin her night. As Sophia approaches them, Carissa's friend offers her a drink, but before she can take it, the girl spills the drink on Sophia's dress. However, Sophia uses her gorilla strength to catch the cup before it falls, which scares the girls and they run off quickly. Later, Louis talks to Sophia and she asks him why he agreed to be her date. He whispers in her ear that he received a message this morning from a certain organization which informed him that explosives were hidden somewhere in Darrington. It could just be a prank, of course, but there's a party today and many students are gathered here. It's likely they're targeting the noble's children and those with authority. The knights suggested canceling the party, but the parents and guardians immediately refused, telling them not to give in to threats. Since Sophia is a student here, she's secretly investigating the matter with the help of Isaac and Eddie. Louis wants her to help as well, and she agrees. Louis then asks her to hold his hand, saying it's strange that partners don't hold hands. Sophia and Louis return to the party, where Carissa is still very angry with them and is thinking of doing something to Sophia. Meanwhile, Louis talks to Sophia and asks if she's noticed anything suspicious on this floor. When she looks at the people around her, Carissa speaks to her gently, pretending nothing happened. While Sophia is talking to Carissa, one of her friends tries to cut Sophia's dress, but Sophia uses her gorilla strength to deliver a powerful punch. Louis takes the scissors from the girl and she gets scared, telling him it was just a prank and asking him not to hurt her. Louis mocks her, saying that the scissors are very sharp and this was no prank. He then notices that Sophia's dress has been cut and takes off his jacket to give it to her. He carries her on his shoulder and leaves the party, causing Sophia to feel very embarrassed. Louis tells her he's a failed knight because he couldn't protect a lady. Sophia asks him not to blame himself because she was the one who was going to fall, and if he's going to say that, then she's a knight too. Louis agrees with her, saying she's right. Louis then suggests they go buy her a new dress, explaining that the city is only 10 kilometers away. Sophia tells him she has another dress, thinking to herself that she'll wear that dress in the end. She just wants to escape. But Louis is extremely upset by this and doesn't want to cause him more worry. On her way out, Sophia meets Leo, who asks her to accompany him to the party, but she refuses. This angers Sophia and she quickly wants to go back to Louis. Finally, Isaac and Eddie arrive and save her from Leo. Isaac tells her there's a problem. There's a bomb at the school, but they haven't found any explosives on any floor so far, meaning it might just be a prank after all. So we think about going to the party even though we're late, and we have to inform Louis about the situation. Sophia mentions that Louis is at the entrance of the party, but Eddie stops her and says that it's inappropriate to attend the party looking like this. He then takes her, and after a while we notice that he has improved her appearance and styled her hair. After that, she heads to Louis and apologizes for being late. Everyone is stunned, and Louis is amazed by her beauty, especially with how gorgeous she looks in her dress. We can see that Sophia is very embarrassed, and she wonders aloud how they managed to enter the party without a partner. Eddie responds by saying that you don't need a partner to attend a school party, and the school didn't mention anything like that. Sophia gets upset because they tricked her and apologizes to Louis, admitting that her information was wrong. Louis responds that he's enjoying his time, so it doesn't matter to him. Later, Louis talks to everyone and mentions that the party is almost over. He wonders if this was just a prank. Sophia then asks Louis if she can go see her classmate, and her friend tells her that she lost her earring. Sophia knows where it fell, but is scared to go by herself. She agrees to help her, saying she'll be happy to accompany her to the place. When they enter the room, Sophia starts searching for the earring. Her friend tells her that she dropped it inside a box. Sophia enters the box and locks herself inside. Afterwards, she apologizes, saying that Carissa asked her to keep her away from the party, but she'll let her out after the event. Sophia talks to herself, thinking that the Arini family isn't as prestigious as the Arenini family. She couldn't refuse Carissa's request, since she comes from a well-established family. Sophia wants to get out of the box, but then she hesitates, thinking that if she leaves, she'll be blamed. But if she stays, Carissa will scold her. Then Sophia hears the sound of footsteps and they try to open the box because something is inside. They take the box with Sophia inside to the 3rd floor. Sophia starts panicking and screams. This is where the episode ends, leaving us with a cliffhanger. I think the next episode will continue with more drama as Sophia finds herself in a difficult situation. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated on all the latest episodes. The episode opens with Sophia hidden inside a large wooden crate. No one has any idea where she is or what has happened to her. 2 unfamiliar men are seen carrying the crate carefully, their faces unreadable. They bring it into a dimly lit, abandoned room on the far side of the school grounds. After placing the crate down, they quickly exit without saying a word. The room falls into silence once more. Moments later, a faint glowing light begins to radiate from inside the crate. With a sudden burst of energy, Sophia activates her hidden powers. The wooden box shatters as she forcefully breaks free, pieces flying in all directions. She takes a deep breath steadying herself, and looks around cautiously. Although she is finally out, Sophia feels torn. She starts thinking about the party, the one she had been looking forward to for so long. But now, it feels too late to return. Her mind drifts to Louis. Without her there, everyone will surely approach him. They'll all be eager to talk, to dance, to get closer. That thought makes her chest tighten with unease. Suddenly, she senses a presence beside her. A sharp panic rises within her. Is she being watched? She turns around swiftly, her body tense, only to find a small squirrel sitting near her. She lets out a soft sigh of relief and watches the little creature closely. Night slowly falls, casting shadows across the room. Outside, her friends are still searching frantically. They've looked everywhere: the garden, the corridors, even the forest edge. But Sophia is nowhere to be found. Back inside, Sophia observes the squirrel again and realizes it's the same one she saw earlier in the courtyard. Smiling faintly, she starts speaking to it as if it could understand. She tells it that maybe staying hidden a bit longer is the best choice. If she waits until the party ends, perhaps Arena won't get scolded for what happened. And maybe, just maybe, the strange message that led her here was nothing more than a bad prank. Still, she can't shake the sadness. A part of her longs to be by Louis' side. She feels genuinely happy when she's near him. Yet, at the same time, she tries to convince herself that Louis only chose her as a partner because she was the younger student. A convenient, polite decision. Surely, he's simply being kind. Just then, fireworks explode in the sky outside. Sophia's eyes light up with awe as the colors dance across the windows. She smiles, wishing Louis could see them too. Her thoughts drift again. Who is with him now? Who became his new partner in her absence? Does that girl truly like him? Sophia never thought she'd care this deeply for someone, but now everything feels different. Her peaceful moment is interrupted by a strange noise from outside the room. Her heart races. Carefully, she steps out to investigate. She walks down the hallway, unsure of what she might find. At first, she thinks maybe it's just the wind. Perhaps a window was blown open, but then she hears voices. 2 male voices. They sound amused, almost smug, as they say, "This is pretty fancy for a student party." Sophia freezes. Could they be the ones who sent her that mysterious letter? Her instincts scream at her to run back and get help, to find Louis and the others. But before she can move, the 2 boys notice her presence. They're startled to see someone there. "Don't scream," one of them says coldly. Or, "We'll kill you!" But Sophia doesn't back down. One of the boys rushes toward her, confident she'll be an easy target. But with one swift punch, Sophia knocks him down. The second one tries his luck. She takes him down just as quickly. She then ties them up with some ropes she finds in the room. Her hands steady despite the adrenaline. She demands to know who they are, but they refuse to speak. That's when Sophia realizes something important. These 2 aren't students. They don't belong here at all. She thinks about going to get Louis now, but she doesn't want to risk leaving the situation unattended. Just then, the squirrel returns, looking alarmed. It tugs at her dress, urging her to follow. She hesitates only a second before trusting the creature. It leads her to a dark corner of the room, and there she finds it. A bomb. Hidden inside. A similar crate, its countdown already ticking. Sophia gasps. Her mind races. She turns to the 2 boys and demands to know how to stop it, but they simply smile, unmoved. "We're ready to die for what we believe in," one of them says with eerie calmness. Time is slipping away. Sophia clenches her fists. She has to figure something out, and fast. She won't let anyone get hurt. Not tonight. Sophia's eyes widened as she stared at the bomb. "We have to do something," she whispered to herself, panic growing in her voice. "I think this bomb is set to explode exactly when the clock hands meet." She glanced at the ticking mechanism again. "This is completely different from what I saw during training, but if I can stop the movement of the 2 hands, I might just be able to delay the explosion." She clenched her fists. "This is no time for hesitation. I don't have the luxury to go find Louis or the others. I can't risk everyone's lives. I will stop it." Quickly, she turned to the squirrel. "You need to get out of here. Go. Far away. Somewhere safe." But just then, one of the tied-up boys smirked and said coldly, "It's too late." Ignoring him, Sophia ran to the window, looking down. "If I go down the stairs, it'll take too long," she muttered. "And there are so many people gathered in the garden right now." She didn't think twice. With agile speed, she leapt out the window, landing quietly in a secluded part of the school grounds. No one noticed her. No one looked her way. She bolted through the shadows, running as fast as she could to reach an open space, far from the students, far from the danger. "I won't let anyone get hurt. Not today," she swore to herself. Once she found an isolated spot, she came to a halt. breathing heavily. Maybe I can contain the explosion a little using the gorilla strength, she said, activating her power. Suddenly, the squirrel caught her attention again. It had followed her, and it jumped onto the bomb, playing with the clock hands. Stop! No, don't touch that! Sophia screamed in alarm as she realized the countdown was speeding up. With no other choice, she grabbed the bomb with all her strength and hurled it high into the sky. A few seconds later, it exploded in the air, lighting up the night like fireworks. Boom! Just then, her friends finally found her. They rushed over in relief. Sophia, are you okay? Isaac asked, concerned. She nodded slightly, not saying a word at first. They began walking back to the party. As they entered the brightly lit courtyard, again, Sophia stopped and turned to the group. I'm sorry for disappearing, she said quietly. What did happen? Eddie asked her. Sophia looked at him and said, I saw 2 suspicious guys sneaking into the school through the old building's window. I followed them and discovered they'd planted a bomb. What you saw just now wasn't fireworks. It was the bomb. I kicked it into the sky before it exploded. Eddie's expression turned serious. Sophia, stop putting yourself in danger like that. But then Isaac interrupted. The bomb must have been planted after our sweep of the area. It wasn't there earlier. Who were the 2 men? Eddie asked. I tied them up and left them in the old room, Sophia replied. They weren't students. I don't know who they are. Suddenly, Louis appeared, rushing to them. I'm so glad you're safe, Sophia. Eddie quickly briefed him. She found 2 intruders on the 3rd floor of the old school building. Sophia looked at Louis and lowered her head. I didn't leave the party on purpose without telling you. I just acted on instinct. Louis gave her a calm look. You can tell me the details later. Eddie, take her to the dorms. Isaac, I need a full written report of everything. Sophia's heart sank. He didn't even really look at her. He didn't say anything kind or warm. She wondered silently, does he hate me now? The next morning, Sophia was walking across campus when a group of girls approached her. They looked nervous, ashamed. One of them stepped forward. Sophia, we're sorry. Truly, things could have ended very badly if we'd made one wrong move. Another one, her closest classmate, looked especially guilty. I'm sorry for tricking you and locking you in that box. We took things way too far. We were just jealous, she continued, voice trembling. Watching you stand beside Louis, working so closely with him, it just got to us. Our jealousy blinded us. But Sophia looked at them, calm and sincere. Louis and I weren't even getting along that well yesterday. And honestly, a lot of things led to those fireworks going off. You could say I was just in the right place at the right time. She smiled faintly. So maybe you should be thanking yourselves for giving me that push. They laughed softly together, and Sophia walked away with them, the morning sun shining gently overhead. And so ends today's episode of this anime. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss what's coming next. The anime episode begins 3 months after Sophia became a novice knight. Sophia narrates that on that day, the 2 people she captured were members of an anti-monarchy group called the Dawn. She discovered they were behind all the chaos that had occurred at the school. However, she still doesn't know how they managed to infiltrate the school despite the security enhancements. It's possible someone from inside allowed them in. Both individuals escaped after the incident. So many questions remain unanswered. Another unresolved matter is that Sophia hasn't spoken to Louis since that day, even though they frequently ran into each other. She had been trying to avoid him, and they haven't crossed paths since she realized she had feelings for him. Still, she can't blame Louis for ignoring her. Later, Sophia meets up with her friends after learning they will be undergoing field training. They are all very excited about it. As they head toward the training site, the weather becomes extremely cold, making it hard for them to move. Despite the harsh conditions, they manage to arrive at the training location. Their commander informs them that the purpose of this training is to develop the strength to endure any circumstance, no matter how harsh, by facing this extreme environment. He orders them to climb to the summit to reach their lodgings, and tells them they will descend the mountain the next morning in an organized manner. Everyone sets off as ordered. We see Sophia and her friends exhausted from the falling snow and the heavy loads they are carrying. Eddie becomes extremely tired, and Sophia offers to carry his belongings for him, but he refuses. As they continue walking, the commander tells them the path will narrow from this point on, and that they need to change their formation. They do so, with Sophia and her friends taking a particularly steep route. During the climb, Eddie collapses from exhaustion, Sophia rushes to save him before he falls off the cliff, but she ends up falling down the slope herself. Louis immediately goes after her to save her. Next, we see Sophia lying on the ground after the fall. When she wakes up, her body hurts a lot, but she's relieved that she avoided serious injuries. She decides not to wander around as the sun is beginning to set. She gives up on finding the others for now and starts looking for shelter to keep warm. Luckily, she finds a small cabin and enters it to spend the night. She tries to light a fire to stay warm, but realizes she doesn't have the tools to start one. They must have fallen during the fall. Terrified that she might freeze to death, she sits and thinks about what to do. Suddenly, she hears a sound coming from outside. At first, she's frightened, thinking it might be a ghost, but she opens the door to check. It might be a lost person like her. To her surprise, she finds a squirrel lying on the ground, and next to it are fire-starting tools. Sophia takes the squirrel inside and manages to start a fire. When she looks closely at it, she realizes it's the same squirrel that had appeared at the school. Exhausted, she eventually falls asleep. Next morning, she wakes up feeling warm and smells a pleasant scent. She gets up to add more firewood to the flames, and suddenly, she finds Louis lying next to her on the ground. Shocked, she stares at him as he wakes up and quickly apologizes for how he looks. He's not wearing any clothes. He tells her that his clothes and equipment are nearby, so she rushes to get them and places them near the fire to dry. Then she asks him what he's doing here. He explains that when he saw her fall, he followed her immediately. He knew it wasn't a rational decision, but at that moment, he couldn't think of anything else. He managed to get down safely, but he lost track of where she went. After wandering for a while, he finally found this place. Then he tells her this is the perfect chance to say something he's been holding back. Louis says to Sophia, "You can complain to me as much as you want. I just hope you're not disappointed in me." Suddenly, he disappears, and the squirrel appears again. Sophia is startled and screams. The squirrel apologizes for leaving her waiting and says, "I received the blessing of the squirrel. It seems to enhance physical abilities, but in my case, it's so strong that it allows me to transform into a squirrel for short periods. However, the timing of when I return to normal changes every time. I retain my consciousness, but sometimes I act like a real squirrel. It's not easy to use this blessing. Squirrels are excellent at searching snowy fields. I didn't know if I'd survive physically, but I wanted to try finding you. It seems the cold weather drained my stamina while I was transformed, and that's how I ended up like that." Sophia responds emotionally. More importantly, why would you do something so dangerous? Louis answers, "I acted on impulse during the explosion incident, so I thought maybe you were tired of me, that you hated me." Sophia replies, "I thought you were avoiding me." Louis tells her, "I gave you the wrong impression. I want to take this chance to confess something. During the school festival, when you were trapped in the storage room, I was there too. In fact, I was the squirrel you gave bread to. That was me in squirrel form." Sophia gasps. "The squirrel from last night, and the one during lunch break, and the one I found in the storage room." She then remembers how she said she loved Louis and how happy she felt around him. He had heard everything. She realizes she confessed her feelings without knowing it. Louis tells her, "I didn't mean to overhear you. I transformed because I wanted to find you as fast as possible. I never intended to listen in, but no one's ever told me they loved me before." Sophia responds, "But you're incredibly popular. Haven't any girls asked you out before?" He replies, slightly embarrassed, "Don't make fun of me. It's hard to believe someone like me who's only good at fighting could be popular." "When I heard your feelings," Louis said, "I felt terrible. I tried to leave, but then I heard a sound right after, and I couldn't bring myself to leave you alone. I was the one who found the bomb because I was trying to protect everyone from the explosion. I was so scared. I thought you might die. In the end, you were the one who brilliantly saved the school and the students. But every time I saw you, after that, I remembered what you said and couldn't look you in the eyes. I guess that gave you the wrong impression." Then Louis finally confesses to her, "I love you. I know I should have confessed first, but I realize now how clumsy I was with you. I finally understood my true feelings. I was drawn to you from the very first moment we met. I want to be by your side because I love you. I feel anxious when I see you with someone else. I can find you no matter where you are. What did it take for me to realize my feelings? For someone else to tell me I'm a failure of a man?" Sophia, now crying, replies, "I love you too. When I realized my true feelings, I was already in love with you, and just when I became aware of them, you suddenly pulled away. I thought you hated me. It hurt so much that I even regretted realizing my love for you, but I love you deeply, and I should have told you sooner." Suddenly, the door bursts open, and Sophia instinctively pushes Louis away. We see that it's Isaac who kicked the door open, guided by the dog who tracked Sophia's scent. When Sophia sees that Louis has fallen to the ground, she rushes to him, apologizing repeatedly. "I'm sorry. I hate having this kind of strength." And with that, today's episode of the anime comes to an end. Stay tuned for the next episodes. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get all the latest updates. Then, we see Sophia at the academy several weeks after the training in the snowy mountains, where many things happened. But in the end, they got a break from night training. And she is happy because she will relax for the first time in a while. Suddenly, her friend appears rushing, carrying a tree. Sophia asks him what it is, and he tells her that there are people with him in the dormitory who asked him to do some tasks suddenly, and they intend to hold a Christmas party. Then they enter the academy, and he tells her that many students return to their homes for Christmas, including Carissa and Irene, and those who remain in the dormitory will hold a Christmas party together. Sophia gets very excited and tells them that she will help them with the decorations. Then Louis appears and tells everyone that he brought the cake. All the girls are happy and thank him. Then he looks at Sophia, who is also looking at him, and their cheeks blush with shyness. Sophia remembers the romantic moments that happened between them before, and is afraid that those around them will know about their relationship, because if that happens, she will be in big trouble. Then Sophia leaves, and Louis follows her and asks her how she is. Then the two are silent, and Sophia doesn't know what to do at such a moment. Then Louis tells her that he was looking for her and hugs Sophia, telling her that he missed her very much. Sophia gets very nervous and wants to push him away, but she remembers what happened in the mountains when he held her very tightly and refrains from doing so. Then Louis apologizes to her, fearing that he might have bothered her. Suddenly, the girls appear, and Sophia gets very scared and moves away from Louis. They take Louis and leave him. Then the Christmas party begins, and we see Sophia watching Louis from afar, realizing that he is very popular with the girls. Then her friend Eddie comes and sits next to her, offering her a gift for the party. Sophia takes it, and when she opens it, she finds a hair decoration pin. He tells her that he thought of this gift because she ties her hair up during training, so this pin will help her. He thanks her for what she did for him during training. Sophia thanks him for it, and he leaves. Then her friend Isaac approaches her and asks her to go outside because he wants to talk to her. When they go out, Isaac also offers her a gift. Sophia opens the gift and finds a beautiful scarf. She thanks him very much for it, and he tells her that it's because she helped him in the past and saved him when he was about to fall from the top of the building, and that she treated him very kindly. Then Isaac puts the scarf on her and tells her that it suits her very well and that he is happy that he got to know her. Then Isaac gets very nervous, and just as he was about to ask Sophia to go out with him on a romantic date, a box falls on Isaac's head from above, interrupting his speech. Then Sophia laughs at him and thanks him, saying that she is happy that she received a Christmas gift from a very dear friend like him. Isaac is surprised because she called him a friend. Sophia thanks him again and leaves, going to her room. She lies on the bed, happy because she received 2 gifts, and decides that she will buy them gifts too, but she is a little sad because she couldn't talk to Louis much. Then there is a knock on the room door. Sophia opens it and finds Louis. Sophia gets very nervous when she sees him because she is afraid that someone might see them. She quickly lets him in and closes the door. Louis apologizes for coming suddenly and tells her that he will leave and come again by appointment. Sophia tells him that it doesn't matter, as she was absent-minded on the bed and not asleep, and asks him what brought him here. Louis takes out a gift and offers it to her. Sophia takes it and opens it, seeing that it is a very beautiful necklace. She likes it very much, so Sophia thanks him and puts on the necklace. Louis tells her that it suits her very well and apologizes again for coming suddenly and decides to leave, but Sophia stops him, saying that she bought a gift for him too and wants to give it to him. Then they sit and eat sweets together, and she tells him that her gift is the pieces of sweets that she kept for him from the party cake because she knows that he loves sweets very much, and he didn't have enough time to eat sweets at the party, so she decided to take the pieces of sweets to her room and give them to him. She tells him that her gift is not as good as his gift. Louis tells her not to say that, as the sweets alone are enough for him, and he thanks her very much for the sweets. He feeds Sophia with his hand, and Sophia eats it, telling him that the cake tastes sweeter now because he fed it to her. Then Louis tells her that when he is with her, he is comfortable and himself, because there are many people who bully him because he loves sweets very much. So he no longer admits that he loves sweets in front of anyone. He hugs Sophia and thanks her for everything she has done for him. Then Sophia tells him that she is very jealous of him and doesn't want him to talk to those other girls. Louis is surprised and also happy to hear that. He tells her that he wants to announce their relationship to everyone, but Sophia immediately refuses and tells him not to tell anyone at school about their relationship. Louis refuses, as he doesn't want their relationship to be secret, and he also wants to be able to watch those who are targeting her, as he saw many boys talking to her during the party. Sophia tells him that she didn't get close to anyone except Eddie and Isaac, and they also gave her Christmas gifts, and she wants to buy them something in return. He tells her that he will accompany her while she buys the gifts. She tells him that there is no need for that, as she has not fallen for anyone but him, and she promises him that, and so our episode ends with that romantic moment between Sophia and Louis. To know what will happen in the upcoming episodes, please subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Louis immediately distances himself from Sophia and apologizes for suddenly approaching her. Sophia blushes and tells him not to apologize. Louis then smiles and tells her to visit his room sometime before he leaves. Sophia is overcome with embarrassment. The next morning, Arsene is in the city, thinking about the previous night spent with his friend Victor. He desperately wants to sleep, but it's his first day off in a long time, and he doesn't want to waste it. A female friend appears, notices he looks tired, and offers him a glass of water to refresh him. Another friend, dressed impeccably, asks him when he'll go out with her as promised. Yet another friend asks him to hang out today since it's his day off. All the girls seem to be competing for Arsene's attention. Suddenly, he sees Sophia running down the street. Arsene immediately decides to leave, telling the girls he'll visit them again. He uses his wing power to fly, then spies on Sophia from above, wondering what she's doing in the city. Sophia visits her friend, who works at a shop, to check on her well-being. She continues her visits, ensuring everyone is okay, playing with children, and offering assistance to the townspeople. Suddenly, there's a commotion in a restaurant. Sophia enters, and angry men demand to know what she wants, continuing to yell at the owner. Sophia can't control her anger. She fights them and throws them out of the restaurant. The owner thanks her for saving him, and she tells him to contact her immediately if something like this happens again. Next, we see Sophia carrying an elderly woman, so she doesn't get tired from walking. The woman thanks her profusely for her help. After the woman leaves, Sophia stares at a sweets shop. Suddenly, Arsene appears before Sophia. She asks him what he's doing there, addressing him as Commander Adler. He tells her he's off duty today, so she can call him Arsene. He then asks why she was staring at the sweets, wondering if she loves them that much. Sophia tells him they're not for her, but she knows someone who loves sweets very much and would be happy if she told them about the shop. Arsene suggests they go into the shop together to buy what she wants. Sophia apologizes and declines, feeling shy about being alone with a man. Arsene tells her not to overreact, that they'll just have tea together. Sophia refuses again and leaves. Then we see Isaac in the city, waiting for Sophia. Sophia rushes to him, wearing the white scarf he gave her as a gift, and hugs him with gorilla strength. She apologizes for not considering her strength, but says she couldn't control herself when she saw his face. They go to a clothing store, and Sophia tries on a new dress. When Isaac sees her, he is very impressed by her beauty and tells her she's beautiful. They buy the dress. Then they go to a restaurant, spend the day together, and play with the city dogs. At the end of the day, Isaac thanks her for spending the day with him. Sophia tells him she enjoys her time with him and that he's her close friend. However, we suddenly discover that this was all Isaac's imagination. He was imagining spending the day with Sophia, but in reality, he's with his friend Eddie in the sauna, talking about Sophia. Eddie recalls a time at the academy when he was sitting alone under a tree. Sophia approached him and asked what he was doing. He told her he was talking to a cat and sharing his troubles. Sophia wanted to pet the cat, but was afraid her strength might accidentally harm it. She then asked him again why he was sitting there, and he explained he was hiding from the girls. Sophia smiled, understanding. Back in the present, the two friends continue their conversation. Isaac tells Eddie that Sophia is patrolling the royal capital today. Many people in the city love her because she is kind-hearted and helps everyone. She's a wonderful girl. Isaac then shares his suspicion that Sophia might like someone, though he's not sure. Eddie gets annoyed and says he doesn't know anything about that. Meanwhile, in the city, we see the girls enjoying themselves, laden with shopping bags filled with clothes and other items. On their way home, they see Sophia helping people. Carissa is very surprised, realizing Sophia is working on her day off and never knew she was a rookie knight. They had noticed her disappearing right after school, but didn't know why. Sophia apologizes for keeping it a secret, explaining she wanted her school life to be as peaceful as possible. She asks them to keep it quiet. Carissa questions why she'd hide something so honorable. The other girls agree, saying it's something to be proud of, not to conceal. The girls then apologize for how they bothered her in the past, Admitting they didn't realize they were upsetting her, they've decided to change for the better and want to be friends with Sophia. They advise her not to hide that she's a rookie knight because she's amazing, and the uniform suits her perfectly. Carissa tells her to be natural and spontaneous, and not to act differently from her true self. She assures Sophia that from now on, they are friends, and she should never hesitate to talk to them, anywhere, anytime. Sophia is touched and thanks them all, tearing up. The girls excitedly ask if there are handsome men among the royal knights. Sophia tells them there are many, but everyone works hard. Carissa then asks Sophia about the person who was with her at the school ceremony, Arsène. She asks if he's Sophia's close friend. Carissa says she doesn't know him at all, but he spoke to her when she entered the ceremony, and she accompanied him because he was handsome. Carissa then suggests they all go to the shop together to buy a dress for Sophia. All the girls, including Sophia, get excited, and they quickly leave. Thus concludes today's episode of this anime. To watch more episodes, please subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell to receive all new updates. Our episode begins with the annual comprehensive military arts competition of the South Country Training Camp, featuring infantry, naval forces, and armed knights. They compete in a display of what they've learned during training. Then we see Sophia with her friends, who ask her why she's the only one exempt from participation. She tells them she withdrew to avoid any unnecessary conflict, which means she'll be a medic. Isaac jokes with her, telling her he'll do his best to get hurt so she can save him. Then we see the girls on a boat, welcoming Sophia as they've come to spend their vacation with her during the training. All the teams then prepare, and the first competition, the obstacle course, begins. All the students take off and race. We see Isaac in the lead, but Commander Volk jumps ahead and overtakes him, winning the match. He then approaches his friend Isaac and tells him he wants him to join his squad after he becomes a true knight. Next, we move to the second competition, swimming, where swimmers will compete, and whoever touches the target first will win. We see Lewis participating in the competition, and Isaac wonders why Lewis is taking part in this training, since naval forces have the advantage in this competition. Then they see Commander Quali and realize he won't be participating in this competition. The boy Kasatka approaches Lewis and introduces himself as being from the naval forces. Lewis tells him his name and that he's a rookie knight from chapter 103. Kasatka then vows to him, telling him he will be the winner and prove to everyone that he is worthy of the title. Lewis tells him he doesn't care. All the students then prepare to start the competition and head into the sea. We see Kasatka swimming very fast, and everyone is impressed by his performance. He reaches the target with ease and wins, with Louis taking second place. Sophia then approaches Kasatka, gives him a towel, and tells him she's Sophia, a medic with the first aid squad. He's very surprised to see a girl at the annual training and realizes she's a rookie knight, but he wonders why such a weak girl has become a knight. Sophia then gives him the towel and leaves immediately because he was staring at her intensely. She then goes to Louis and gives him a towel as well, telling him he was amazing in the competition. Kasatka then approaches them, and Louis tells him he had a very distinguished performance and deserved the victory title. Kasatka scoffs at him, saying he doubts he's qualified to be named the next chosen knight. Commander Shin then intervenes and tells him not to be rude to Louis and to return to the waiting area quickly. Then we move to the third competition, close combat, where Chinese bullets are used instead of real bullets. 6 members from each team participate in this competition, and the team with remaining members at the end will win. The competition begins, and we see the commander of the armed knights, Adler, firing bullets at many students. 2 members of the green team were eliminated, and the blue team was completely wiped out. Everyone is impressed by his brilliant performance. We see Eddie, the only remaining member of the red team, which means he'll have to face this savage commander alone. Eddie then remembers his commander, telling him that he would be able to defeat Commander Adler with that bag and giving it to him. Then we see Adler flying in the air, searching for Eddie. He then sees a girl among the trees and goes to her, asking if she's okay and suggesting he show her the way out of the forest. He then asks her name. Suddenly, the girl turns around and removes the wig from her head, and we see it's Eddie. He aims the gun at Adler and defeats him. Then we move to the girls and see them enjoying their vacation and the beautiful weather. We see the students standing together, preparing for the next stage, which is the treasure hunt. Each student will draw a paper from the box and must bring what is written on the paper to the target. All the students then take a paper from the box and start the competition. Then we see Sophia standing in front of the students as they run towards her very quickly, and she is scared. Sophia is surprised, thinking, "What am I going to do now? All I can do is run, and fast, or else I'll be flattened and stuck to the ground." by these rabble-rousers and barbarians. She doesn't know what could happen, but at that moment, Louis grabs her hand and tells her to hurry up and follow him. They indeed reach the finish line, and everyone cheers for them. People wonder aloud, did she understand him? I think this was the commander's decision. At that moment, everyone congratulates Louis because he won, and he turns to Sophia and says, "I'm so sorry I told you so suddenly." She replies, "It's fine, really, no worries, but what were the instructions about?" He tells her, "Look, I don't know anything. The important thing is that it went well." Sophia gives him a strange look and thinks to herself, "Oh, wonderful. He didn't even know what he was going to say. I don't want to attack him with my gorilla strength. I need to calm down a bit." The scene then quickly shifts to Carissa and her friends. They ask her, "What should we do now?" She suggests, "Why don't we go observe the Knights squad again?" But Irene tells them, "I'm not going there." Elsewhere, we see Eddie and his friend. They've done a lot, but their results haven't changed much. They're almost tied. At that moment, urgent news arrives for the instructor, who calls them all together. This is an urgent message for all Knights. An urgent message for all Knights. A rock slide has occurred along the beach. A nearby hotel balcony has been partially destroyed. It appears a number of people have fallen into the water. All Knights must proceed to the scene immediately. Everyone sets off at top speed. Everyone is working, but there's still a possibility of further collapses. They must do everything in their power to prevent more casualties. The other squad has gone to retrieve the rescue equipment, and the naval squad has already headed out to sea. However, someone tells them, "Wait, there are poisonous fish that entered the port last night." And here comes the commander of the naval squad, who tells them, "I'll handle it." He indeed jumps into the sea and uses his immense power to secure the area. Then they quickly descend to rescue everyone. And indeed, after about 15 minutes, the rescue operation is successfully completed. At that moment, Sophia watches them and makes sure they're all right. She asks about Carissa, but unfortunately, she's the only one still in the water. Sophia runs with gorilla speed and jumps onto a barrel to rescue her, or attempts to. She reaches her in a matter of seconds, then lifts her with gorilla strength. Along with the umbrella she was riding on, she was about to fall into the sea when Gale came to rescue her, and Louis also came to her. Luckily, he arrived at the right time. Who would have thought you could cover all that distance with the same speed as a killer whale? I admit your abilities, Louis. You are truly great. The scene shifts after they finally finish, and the commander congratulates them, saying, "Excellent work today. Thanks to your efforts, we were able to accomplish so much. And this is an honor for all of us." Afterwards, we see Sophia, and Commander Folk calls out to her, "Gorilla girl, this is the first time I've seen your gorilla strength abilities. Join my squad once you become a knight," she tells him. "Sir, I haven't thought about it yet." But at that moment, another person comes up and says, "Nah, man, forget about her. I saw her first anyway." Then Commander Quali comes and asks them, "What exactly are you doing?" Even Shin wants to add her to his ranks. He says, "No man, I'm not interested in that. The gorilla can only swim, but I see someone who can provide some defense for our vessels. In that case, you might be very ideal." In the evening, Sophia leaves, very exhausted, but she meets Louis, who asks her, "Are you finished talking to the commanders?" She replies, "Thank God, they never stop talking. But during the treasure hunt competition, what were your instructions? I mean, what was written on your paper?" He says, "The person you want to protect, even though you're the one protecting me in reality. And may God protect everyone." Their relationship was very romantic until Eddie and his friend arrived, and his friend told him, "Understand, you idiot? These two are in love. Get it? And what are we doing here now?" Then fireworks explode everywhere. And the newspapers? This was a beautiful moment. And so ends our episode today. Wait for us in the next episode. But subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to receive all that's new. Our story begins in the heart of the city, where Louis sits alone on the cool stone edge of a grand fountain, its waters dancing in the afternoon sun. He's engrossed in a leather-bound book. The world around him faded to a distant murmur. That is, until a familiar voice cuts through his concentration. "Louis!" He looks up to see Sophia hurrying toward him, her cheeks flushed. "I am so sorry that I'm late," she says, slightly out of breath. "Thank you for waiting for me." Louis closes his book and offers a gentle smile. "It's nothing, really. I'm used to it," he says with a shrug. "When I was a kid, I was the one everyone picked on. Got a few smacks on the back of the head, made to feel worthless. It taught me patience, I guess. But that's all in the past. The only thing that matters is that you're here. How are you?" "Oh, Louis, don't say that about yourself," she replies softly, her brow furrowed with concern. "I'm doing well, thank you. And again, I truly am sorry to have kept you waiting." His eyes crinkle at the corners as he takes in her appearance. Well, the important thing is, you look beautiful today, even in your training uniform. He pauses, a thoughtful look on his face. Speaking of which, wearing this must mean you didn't have a chance to go home after practice, did you? No, I didn't, she confirms with a sigh. I was so caught up in training, there just wasn't any time. I know Commander Volek is relentless, Louis says, his tone a mix of respect and exasperation. He trains us with an iron fist, always pushing us to our limits. He's like a wolf in a way, but you're finished for the day, and that's what counts. He hesitates for a moment before his expression brightens. What do you say we go buy you some new clothes? In that uniform, you'll attract far too much of the wrong kind of attention. Sophia's eyes widen as she considers his words. He was right. Her mind immediately pictures the gossip that would spread if a student or instructor from the academy saw them. Cadet Sophia and Sir Louis skipping out for a secret rendezvous. The thought makes her blush. You're right, she says, embarrassed. I'm sorry, I didn't even think about that. Then it's settled, he says, standing up and extending his hand to her. We'll find you something else to wear, he adds, his voice dropping to a playful whisper, and it'll give me a proper excuse to hold your hand. A warm feeling spreads through Sophia's chest. She remembers their time at the training camp just 2 days prior, how they barely had a moment to themselves. He had wanted to give her a gift then, a proper token to mark the start of their relationship. This, their very first official outing together, felt like that gift. Suddenly the scene shatters, shifting to a chilling tableau of violence. On a stately balcony across the city, a figure collapses. From a distant rooftop, a sniper, cloaked and unseen, lowers a rifle, the scent of gunpowder tainting the air. Is the target dead, or is he clinging to his last breaths? The answer hangs in the balance, promising a thrilling conclusion. We return to Sophia, who is now standing in a chic boutique. She models a beautiful dress, but the cut doesn't feel right, so she dismisses it. A second dress is brought out, a ayo, fashionable piece, but its hemline reveals more of her legs than she is comfortable with. A modest girl at heart, she shakes her head. The third dress, however, is perfect. A graceful, elegant garment that is both beautiful and suitable. With their shopping complete, their day of leisure continues. They stop by a salon where Sophia gets a stylish haircut, and then they visit their favorite cafe to indulge in decadent cakes. Afterwards, they stroll through a park, enjoying cold ice cream as the sun begins to set. Where is your house from? Here, Sophia asks, taking a bite of her frozen treat. It's quite close, actually, Louis replies. A hopeful idea sparks in his mind. What would you say to stopping by the market? We could pick up some fresh ingredients, and I could cook dinner for us at my place. Sophia's heart skips a beat. She agrees without hesitation. Meanwhile, in another part of the city, the aftermath of the assassination attempt unfolds. The victim, a powerful duke, has miraculously survived, though he is grievously wounded. Investigators swarm the scene, but their information is perilously thin. The assailants, clad in crimson-red robes, are almost certainly members of the radical anti-monarchy movement. The investigators also fear the worst, that, like before, the assassins may have planted explosives somewhere in the city, turning their crime into a public catastrophe. Unaware of the unfolding drama, Sophia and Louis wander through the vibrant evening market. Sophia is utterly captivated. She had heard tales of the central market, but this is her first time experiencing its organized chaos. The air is thick with the scent of spices, fresh bread, and 100 other mingling aromas. I suppose students from a prestigious family, like yours in Derwentwan, don't find themselves in places like this very often, Louis remarks, noticing her wide-eyed wonder. Her attention is suddenly stolen by a stall piled high with tomatoes. They are a brilliant, deep red, gleaming like rubies under the market lanterns. Look at them, Louis! I've never seen anything so perfect. Then we have to get some, he says with a grin. I'll make you a delicious tomato dish for dinner. It's a simple recipe, but with tomatoes like these, it will taste like a feast. Sophia beams with joy as he carefully selects the best ones. As they continue on their way, they overhear two gentlemen complaining about the state of the decorative ponds in their town, describing them as foul-smelling and teeming with insects. Louis' expression darkens. He thinks to himself that this is a common problem, a consequence of outdated customs surrounding the ownership of such properties. It's an issue that affects not just their city, but the entire kingdom. A fire ignites within him. He wants to fix it, to change things for the better, but the feeling is followed by a wave of frustration. He's still just a novice knight, lacking the experience and influence to make a real difference. Their path home is nearly complete when a cheerful merchant with a cart full of roasted nuts flags them down. "Delicious nuts, the best in the city," he calls out. "A special discount for the happy couple." Blushing at the merchant's assumption, they nevertheless buy a small bag. The warm, savory aroma, a comforting end to their eventful day. They soon arrived at a modest but charming building. On a quiet side street, Louis paused at the door, a faint blush on his cheeks. "Here we are," he said. Sophia looked at his small, rented home, and a wide, genuine smile spread across her face. It wasn't a grand estate or a knight's manor, but it felt warm and real. To her, it was perfect. As he reached for the door, Louis suddenly froze, groaning in frustration. "I can't believe it. I forgot to buy spices," he muttered, running a hand through his hair. "I used the last of them the other day." He turned to Sophia, pressing the bag of vegetables and the house key into her hands. "Here, please go on in and make yourself at home. I'll be back before you know it." "Let me come with you," Sophia insisted, not wanting him to go to the trouble alone. "No, it's already getting late," he said, already backing away. "I'll be much faster on my own. I promise." With a quick wave, he turned and jogged back in the direction of the market. Sophia watched him go before turning to unlock the door. The moment she stepped inside, she knew her initial feeling was right. The space was small, but it was tidy and filled with Louis's presents. Books stacked neatly on a shelf, a simple wooden table, a well-worn training sword leaning against a wall. It was a home. After a quick, curious tour, she made her way to the kitchen and began preparing the ingredients for their dinner. She was so absorbed in the rhythmic chopping of vegetables that she didn't hear the door open again. "I'm back," Louis's voice announced, making her jump slightly. He was standing in the doorway, a small paper bag of spices in his hand, a sheepish look on his face. "Sorry for the delay." His apology faded as he watched her, a look of admiration replacing it. "You're a natural at this. Let's see if you still think so after you taste it," she laughed, holding out a spoon with a piece of simmered tomato. He leaned in, and as he tasted the sauce, his eyes widened in genuine delight. "It's delicious," he exclaimed. Soon, the meal was ready. They sat across from each other at the small table, sharing the simple, perfect dinner they had prepared together. Their conversation easy, and their laughter filling the cozy room. After they finished eating, Sophia sat comfortably, her fingers toying with the delicate chain around her neck. Louis noticed her quiet expression. "Is everything all right?" he asked. "It is," she said softly, looking up at him. She held up the pendant for him to see. "I was just thinking about this necklace, the one you gave me." Her voice was filled with a deep sincerity. "Ever since that day, I've worn it. I haven't taken it off once. I worry constantly that I might lose it during a mission, so I always tuck it away in a safe place. But it's just so precious to me. It's the first gift I've ever received from you, and I never want to be parted from it." Louis looked down, a wave of shyness washing over him. "To be honest," he admitted quietly, "I was a little worried. I don't really know many ways to make you happy besides giving you gifts. I had no idea if you'd even like it, or if you'd think it was too much." Sophia reached across the table and placed her hand over his. "Louis," she said, her gaze steady and warm, "I love you. I don't want you to ever worry about things like that." His sincerity was almost painful. "I didn't mean any harm by it," he said, seeming to misunderstand her reassurance. He glanced at the clock on the wall. "It's gotten very late. I think you should get ready to head back." He stood up. "I'll walk you home." The night air was cool as they walked back towards her residence. Louis was quiet for a few moments before he spoke. "Make sure you get plenty of rest tonight," he said, his tone serious. He then stopped and turned to her. "And I'm sorry about tonight. I feel like I didn't consider your feelings properly and rushed things by inviting you over." Sophia stopped too, surprised by his apology. "Louis, I had a wonderful time." "I'm glad," he said, though he still looked concerned. When they reached her dormitory, she thanked him for walking her all the way back. Louis bid her good night and turned to leave. Knowing she was already past her curfew, Sophia broke into a run, hurrying through the quiet courtyard. Suddenly, shadows detached themselves from the darkness. Two masked figures lunged at her, their movements silent and predatory, but they had severely underestimated their target. With reflexes honed by Commander Volek's brutal training, Sophia moved like lightning. She parried their strikes, her blocks sharp and powerful, before launching her own counterattack. A sweeping leg kick sent one assailant sprawling, and a precise palm strike to the chest sent the other crashing hard into the ground. As they lay groaning, Sophia stood over them, breathing heavily but triumphant. "I can't just leave these two thugs here," she muttered, her mind already working. "I'll have to contact the Royal Knights." Just then, she noticed a small glass bottle on the ground near the defeated men, a strange, ethereal smoke seeping from its uncorked top. A wave of dizziness and fatigue washed over her, her hard-won strength suddenly draining away. "You have such potential," a smooth voice said from the shadows. A man emerged, his face obscured by the dim light, his presence radiating a cold authority. "But for your light to shine its brightest, you must be by my side, Sophia." Before she could process his words or react, her eyes were drawn to a small, ornate box resting nearby. It pulsed with a faint light, and then, in a blinding flash, it exploded. And on that shocking cliffhanger, our episode for today comes to an end. To find out what happens next, be sure to join us again. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to show your support so you won't miss what's to come.
Our episode begins with Leo as he searches for Sophia everywhere. He eventually reaches the Dawn Group, which opposes the monarchy, but their numbers are greater than he expected. The entrances are heavily guarded, so he can't see what's happening inside. He then starts running at high speed. The guards chase him, but he defeats them easily. However, he doesn't kill them, he just beats them up severely. The scene then shifts to Commander Shin, who is talking to another member of the Royal Guard. His comrade says, "We couldn't get in touch with Britwan." Commander Shin replies, "All right, we'll head there immediately." At that moment, we see someone spying on them. Spies have become very common now. People who have no belief or religion. The only thing that matters to them is money. They're hired by different parties to be their eyes in other countries and places. Then Commander Shin uses his water-based power, the power of lightning, and electrocutes many people. The scene quickly switches back to Leo, who reaches the headmaster and rescues him. But unfortunately, he doesn't know where the other students are. He's very worried about them. The headmaster tells him, "Be careful, my son. You can check the campus again." The scene then moves to Sophia, who's running quickly, wanting to contact Louis and the others to tell them what's about to happen. Suddenly, she's ambushed, but she uses her gorilla strength to blow up the building instantly. She then enters the academic building and finds a large wall blocking the classroom door. She blows the door up completely and rushes inside to check if everyone is okay. She easily frees them, so much so that the others are astonished by her strength and say she tore the rope with just the joints of her fingers. Then Rini uses her strong spiderweb threads, as she calls them, to seal the entrances and exits. Sophia tells them, "I want you all to stay here for a while until the danger passes. As for me, I'm planning to move around the campus, through other areas." She flies upwards, but finds the place completely dark. Still, Sophia gathers her courage. She must free the remaining students from the looming danger, the explosion. The others call out to her, "Wait, take us with you. We can't stay here alone." Only two go with her. Both have strong abilities. The girl, Karitha, has the ability to walk in darkness, and the other one has the spider thread ability. Rini gives her a strong rope to help with movement. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to Eddie and Adler, who are being followed by infiltrators. At that moment, Sophia arrives and knocks out the two infiltrators. They look out the window and see that strange man, Victor Vogt, the commander of the ground forces, striking down the infiltrators one by one until he defeats them all. Sophia then asks, "Where's Louis?" Eddie told her that Louis might have gone to the headmaster to rescue him and said, "We'll go with you to check on him." Meanwhile, it seemed that Louis had lost the battle. Sophia and her group sneak in through the roof, but the place is not safe. 3 snipers are ready and begin firing bullets. The group quickly sneaks past and hides. Then a 4th infiltrator appears and says, "Leave this to me." He lifts a massive stone weighing 500 kilograms and hurls it at the area where they were hiding, causing a massive explosion, almost like a nuclear bomb. But Sophia, possessing gorilla strength, doesn't stay down. She lifts the same stone and throws it back at them like a Kaibar rocket, blasting the entire place. The infiltrators try to capture them, and Eddie, along with some of the infiltrators, falls down into a lower level. Still, they're determined to continue moving forward quickly. At that moment, we see a superhuman man lifting the church bell all by himself from above. It weighs 3,000 kilograms. Imagine what kind of destruction that bell could cause if dropped from that height. Yes, it's insane. Sophia says she will catch the bell before it hits the ground. And she actually does. She manages to stop it with her powerful defenses. But she can't withstand the pressure, and it drives her feet into the ground. The bell falls and crashes through, reaching a hidden area. And the shocking surprise is that Louis is unconscious there, with the terrorist mastermind sitting in front of him. He says to her, "So you've come again, you foolish girl." Sophia, as he places his foot on Louis' stomach. Leohart speaks, "I didn't hate that cold behavior you gave me this morning, but you'll come to know me eventually." Sophia grows furious and shouts, "Let Louis go right now." He replies, "No, he'll get what he deserves, that's for sure." At that moment, 2 of his followers come out, intending to kill Sophia. But Isaac appears like a flash of lightning and strikes one of them down. Sophia then takes out the other. She thanks Isaac. Suddenly, Leohart stands up and activates his destructive power. He hits Isaac with a powerful strike, strike, slamming him into the wall. He flies back a great distance. Then Leohart dashes behind Sophia and says, I really like you. We should have sex together. Then we'll take over the world and get married. She tries to strike him, but he's too fast. He catches her off guard and stings her on the head, knocking her completely unconscious. She eventually regains consciousness, and he tells her, I won't force you to do anything. I won't hurt you. I'll take good care of you. Then he kisses her, but Sophia bites him instantly and shouts, when God gave me power, it wasn't to use it for evil. I want to use that power to protect others, and that's exactly what I'm doing now. As for you, Leohart, you're an evil man who wants to control the world and spread terrorism everywhere. And that is absolutely wrong. At that moment, Leohart uses his tiger ability against her, slamming her into the wall with a powerful strike. But that wasn't all. He approaches her and begins to choke her. As she's gasping for her final breaths, Louis regains consciousness and shouts, let her go, you fool. He turns to Sophia and yells, run, Sophia. I'll handle him. But Leohart was too fast. He says coldly, you'd better surrender and hand her over, or I'll kill you both. He strikes Louis in the stomach. Louis, filled with rage, declares, I am her knight. I won't let you have her, you terrorist idiot. He draws his sword and slashes Leohart's shoulder. Furious, Leohart grabs Louis by the throat and slams him to the ground. He then begins to transform, preparing to kill them both. But just then, a powerful voice calls out. It's the Royal Elite Force. Put your hands up and surrender. My squad has surrounded this entire area. Surrender now, or we'll be forced to kill you. Leohart laughs. You arrived faster than I expected, Royal Knights, but I'll never surrender. The commander gives the order to open fire, but Leohart moves with lightning speed, dodging the bullets like a panther. He taunts them, saying, you'll never hit me with such slow shots. Meanwhile, Sophia looks around for Louis, but he's not there. She searches for him and finds him above. He's transformed into a squirrel and is planning a surprise attack. Then Sophia steps forward, challenging Leohart. It's the gorilla versus the panther. Who will win? Tell us in the comments. The battle intensifies. Leohart delivers a surprise blow and says, surrender, and I'll protect you from everyone. Sophia responds, I will never surrender. I don't need anyone to protect me. I want to protect everyone. She continues, there are people I care about, people I respect. There are weak, oppressed, and poor people out there. I want to protect them all from attacks, theft, and any act of cruelty. At that moment, Sophia gathers her gorilla strength and strikes Leohart with a massive blow that breaks his focus. Then she cuts down a chandelier weighing about 100 kilograms, and it falls directly onto his head. Though he doesn't die, all of his bones are shattered. He's finally arrested. Sophia, now severely injured, is taken to the Royal Hospital. She remains in a coma for more than 24 hours. When she wakes up, she sees Eddie and Isaac and says, are you okay, Eddie? I remember last night, or was it yesterday morning? You mentioned being on the rooftop. What happened after that? Eddie tells her, I gained the power of the cat. It allowed me to land safely from that height without injury. Time passes. Days turn into years, and at last, they all graduate from the academy and school. Sophia congratulates Louis on his graduation, and together they officially become knights. Louis, now at the beginning of his path, dreams of becoming the commander of the knights. The road ahead won't be easy, but every journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. He turns to her and says, I want you by my side. I love you so much. Will you come with me? She replies, yes, I'll be with you forever. And with that, the anime comes to an end. Stay tuned for our next anime, starting next week. But don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any updates.